Welcome back to the deep dive, where we like to, well, dive deep.
Into all sorts of rabbit hole.
Exactly. And today's rabbit hole, well, it's a fascinating one.
Definitely a bit more conceptual than our usual dive.
Yeah, we're tackling the idea of mysticism.
But not just the, vague mystical vibes.
No, we're getting specific.
Our main source, it's this text called, get this, who is a mystic.txt.
Pretty straightforward.
Right. But here's the catch. It's supposedly part of the teachings of something called
Wait for it.
the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood.
Now, that's a name that sparks curiosity.
Oh, for sure. Like, are we talking a real group? A fictional creation?
Who knows? But that mystery is part of the fun, right?
Absolutely. So first things first, let's unpack how this text defines a mystic.
Okay, because I feel like that word gets thrown around a lot, but it's kind of,
Slippery.
yeah. Like, is it just anyone who believes in, I don't know, crystals and auras?
Well, this document makes a really interesting distinction between a believer and a mystic.
Okay, so there's a difference.
A big one, according to them.
I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
So believers, they accept truths passed down, tradition, authority figures.
Makes sense. A lot of belief systems work that way.
Right, but mystics, they're not satisfied with that.
They're more like, show me the receipts.
Exactly. They demand proof, and not just any proof, personal experiential proof.
So it's not enough to just, like, read about it in a book.
Nope, they want to experience the truth firsthand.
I'm starting to get it. It's like reading about a scientific experiment versus actually doing it yourself.
Perfect analogy. One's theoretical knowledge, the other is lived experience.
Okay, so for a mystic, what does this experiential proof even look like? Are we talking visions, supernatural encounters?
Interestingly, the text doesn't really get into
Oh,
specific.
come on, that's no fun.
Right. But it does emphasize that if truth exists, then truth can be found.
So it's more about the seeking, the active pursuit of truth.
Exactly. How that truth is experienced, that's left open.
Okay, so let's say I'm on this quest for truth. The text also mentions a solitary path for mystics.
Ah, yes. That's a key point.
Does that mean, like, literal solitary? Gotta go full hermit mode, live in a cave?
Maybe not a cave, but the text definitely implies that the journey towards truth, it's fundamentally individual.
So, not a group activity.
It contrasts with the believer, who often finds strength in a community of shared faith.
Right, like going to church, being part of a religious group.
Exactly. But the mystic, they're wrestling with their own unique doubts and questions,
Venturing beyond the comfort of those accepted answers.
which can be a pretty lonely path.
I get that. There have definitely been times when I felt like my questions, they go deeper than the readily available explanations.
That's often the starting point for the mystic's journey.
Okay, so if I'm grappling with these big questions, striving for that experiential proof,
Yeah.
does that mean I need to, like, shut out the world entirely? Where's the line between seeking truth alone and completely isolating yourself?
That's a great question, and one the text doesn't explicitly answer.
Figures. They like to keep us guessing.
Right. But maybe it's less about physical isolation, more about that internal process of seeking.
So even surrounded by people, a mystic could still be on that solitary path.
Exactly. Engaged in this exploration of consciousness, trying to understand their own experience of, well, the divine or whatever ultimate truth they're pursuing.
Okay, but if this personal truth is so hard to articulate, how do mystics even share what they've found?
That's the challenge, isn't it? The text mentions that mystics are often misunderstood.
Well, yeah, if you can't put it into words.
They use this analogy of trying to describe color to someone born blind.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that really highlights the difficulty.
Right. It's like trying to convey an experience that lies beyond typical language.
And this ties back to our mysterious source, even the name Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood. It evokes this sense of, like,
Hidden knowledge, secret traditions.
yeah. Are they intentionally being obscure, or are they just dealing with concepts that defy easy explanation?
That's what we're trying to figure out. But before we get too lost in Atlantis,
Right.
let's move on to the specific qualities they attribute to a mystic.
Because honestly, when I saw the list, I was surprised.
How so?
It wasn't all, like, incense and crystals and,
Woo-woo stuff.
Yeah. They list things like intellectual curiosity, emotional resilience, spiritual discipline.
Qualities that, honestly, you could argue are essential for any field.
So are they saying that a scientist who's, like, relentlessly pursuing a breakthrough discovery, even when everyone else is doubting them,
Yeah.
that they're displaying that same mystic fire?
That's an interesting parallel, isn't it?
Definitely makes you think.
The text seems to suggest that those same qualities that drive scientific breakthroughs, They also fuel the mystic's pursuit of truth.
So it's that unwavering dedication, that willingness to push beyond the boundaries of what's known.
That unites them, the scientist and the mystic.
This is blowing my mind a little bit.
I know, right? It challenges our preconceived notions of what it means to be a mystic.
Okay, so we're seeing that a mystic, according to this text, isn't defined by their beliefs, but by their approach to knowledge, to understanding.
Precisely. It's about the journey, not the destination.
But what about this Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood? What's their role in all of this? Are they like a secret society of mystics?
That's where things get even murkier.
Of course they do.
The text doesn't explicitly outline their practices, their structure, any of that.
Classic secret society move.
Right. But it does hint at their purpose, which seems to be providing guidance and support for those on this, solitary path.
So like mentors for aspiring mystics.
That's one interpretation.
But who are these mentors? And what's their definition of the divine or truth or whatever they're guiding people towards?
More questions than answers, right?
This is what I love about these deep dives.
The mystery.
Yeah, we're peeling back layers, uncovering clues, but also bumping into more mysteries along the way.
And the Atlantean Brotherhood, they're a fascinating puzzle.
But before we get totally sidetracked by Atlantis, let's bring it back to the text's claim that, get this, many great thinkers throughout history were mystics.
Ah, yes, another bold statement.
Is there any historical basis for that? Like, were Einstein and Da Vinci secretly hanging out, comparing mystical experiences?
Well, it's tough to say for sure.
History's full of mystery.
Right. But if we look at those defining qualities of a mystic, the relentless questioning, the pursuit of a vision beyond the norm.
We do see those traits in a lot of figures who drove significant change.
Absolutely. Whether they would call themselves mystics, that's another matter.
Fair enough. But even if the text is stretching the truth a bit, the underlying point is still interesting.
How so?
Progress in any field, it often comes from those who dare to challenge the status quo, think differently.
The ones who pursue what they believe to be true, even when it's unpopular.
Like those scientists who were ridiculed for their radical theories, but then, bam, they turn out to be right.
History's full of those stories.
And maybe that's what this whole mystic concept is really about, not just some esoteric belief system, but a way of approaching the world, a mindset that drives progress.
A mindset we can all learn from.
Exactly. And that brings us to you, our listeners.
Because we want to know, do you recognize any of these mystic qualities in yourself? Have you ever felt that pull towards a truth that goes beyond the surface? We'll delve into those questions and hear some of your thoughts after a short break. Stay with us as we continue our exploration of the mystic, as defined by this very intriguing text from the so-called Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood.
And who knows, maybe we'll even uncover some clues about the Brotherhood themselves.
Though that would be a deep dive worth taking.
Stick around.
Before we get too deep into the practical side of things.
The How to Be a Mystic Guide.
Right. I want to circle back to that claim about,
All those great thinkers being secret mystics.
yeah, it's a pretty bold statement.
Definitely got my attention. Like, am I picturing, Da Vinci and Einstein having a secret mystic club meeting?
Well, the text doesn't exactly give us a membership list.
Too bad.
But if we look at the, those core qualities they outline.
That relentless curiosity, pushing boundaries.
Exactly. We do see some parallels with folks who made, huge changes.
Give me an example. Someone who really embodies this mystic in action idea.
Okay, think about Marie Curie.
A pioneer of radioactivity. Pretty groundbreaking.
Exactly. She dedicated her life to unraveling these mysteries, a phenomenon that, challenged the scientific understanding of her time.
And wasn't she, ostracized by the scientific community for a while?
Oh, absolutely. Faced tons of skepticism, even hostility.
But she kept going.
Driven by that insatiable curiosity, that commitment to, pushing the boundaries of knowledge.
Sounds pretty mystic to me.
Right. That relentless pursuit, that unwavering belief in her vision.
And her discoveries, they totally revolutionized our understanding of, everything.
That's the potential power of this mystic mindset, right? It can lead to breakthroughs that, reshape the world.
It makes you think, how could these qualities apply to, everyday life?
Because we're not all going to be making Nobel Prize-winning discoveries.
Right, but we do all face challenges, make decisions, try to understand ourselves and the world.
And the text, in a way, it offers a framework for navigating all that.
Oh, interesting. Like a mystic's guide to life?
Kinda. It suggests that, embracing that intellectual curiosity, building emotional resilience.
Developing that spiritual discipline.
Exactly. All that can empower us to, approach life's complexities with more I don't know, clarity and purpose.
So it's not about chanting mantras or having visions.
Not necessarily.
It's about applying those same principles of inquiry, dedication to our own, personal journeys.
Precisely. Recognizing those moments when we're called to question, to dig deeper, to push past our comfort zones.
All in pursuit of what? A truth that resonates with us.
Exactly, because that personal truth is going to be different for everyone.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired, but before we get too carried away with our personal quests,
Yeah.
I gotta ask, the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood, any evidence they actually exist?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
That's driving me crazy.
Our research so far hasn't turned up any, concrete proof.
Are they really good at hiding, or
Or maybe they're a figment of someone's imagination.
a very elaborate hoax?
Could be. But even if they're fictional, the ideas in this text, they're still powerful.
It's like a thought experiment, right?
Exactly. What if there were a group dedicated to cultivating these mystic qualities? What could we learn from them?
How would they approach the problems we're facing today?
It's a fascinating exercise, I think.
It is. It's about, exploring the potential of human consciousness, our capacity for seeking truth.
And that's what makes this whole deep dive so compelling, right?
Definitely not your average episode.
It's not just about uncovering facts. It's about engaging with ideas that, challenge us to think differently.
Question our assumptions.
Consider new possibilities.
It's about embracing that little spark of the mystic within all of us.
And who knows, maybe by engaging with these ideas, by, nurturing our own curiosity.
Yeah.
Maybe we're all contributing to the legacy of the mystics, real or imagined.
Like we're all part of this brotherhood in a way.
It's a beautiful thought.
But before we get too lost in speculation, let's shift gears a bit.
Hear what our listeners have to say.
Exactly, because when we asked for your thoughts on this whole mystic concept, well, you guys delivered.
Oh, we got flooded with messages, comments. It's clear this topic hit a nerve.
People are thinking, feeling, reflecting.
And what's interesting is, the range of responses, some folks shared personal experiences that really resonated with those qualities we discussed.
And while others brought in totally different definitions of mysticism from all sorts of cultures and traditions.
It's like we've collectively woven this tapestry of understanding.
Every thread adding something unique.
And a lot of listeners pointed out that those qualities, that curiosity, resilience, discipline,
They're not just for, spiritual seekers.
they're valuable for anyone striving to live a more, meaningful life.
So it's not about becoming a card-carrying mystic.
It's about taking those principles and applying them to, well, anything.
One listener, a musician, they wrote in about seeing those qualities in fellow artists, the ones who constantly push creative boundaries.
Experimenting with sound and form to, express something deeper.
And another listener, a healthcare worker, they shared about seeing that mystic fire in their colleagues.
The ones who approach their work with so much compassion, that deep sense of purpose,
It's amazing how these mystic qualities can manifest in so many ways.
defying categorization, inspiring us to look beyond the surface, both in ourselves and in others.
This deep dive has been a wild ride, hasn't it?
From ancient texts to secret societies, we've covered a lot of ground.
But ultimately, it comes back to that inner journey,
Cultivating those mystic qualities within ourselves,
applying them to our own unique paths.
because we all have that potential.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. What if we all embraced our inner mystic?
What if we approached life with that same sense of wonder, that dedication to truth?
That willingness to dive deep into the mysteries around us.
The possibilities are endless.
And hey, maybe somewhere out there, the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood is listening, giving us a nod of approval.
Or maybe they're just a figment of our collective imagination.
Either way, the ideas they've sparked, they've ignited something in us.
And that's what matters most.
Thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery.
Keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep that mystic fire burning bright.
Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep diving deep.
Wow, last segment, we were just starting to get into some of the listener feedback.
It's amazing, how much this topic resonated.
Yeah, the responses we got, it wasn't just, hey, good episode. It was like,
People really reflecting, connecting it to their own lives.
exactly. And what's cool is the variety.
Yeah, some folks, they shared super personal experiences,
Moments that really clicked with those mystic qualities.
while others brought in totally different takes on mysticism, different cultures, traditions. It's awesome.
We've created this, mosaic of understanding.
Each piece adding to the bigger picture.
And what really struck me is how many people saw those mystic qualities.
Curiosity, resilience, all that.
Yeah, they saw them not just as spiritual stuff,
But as important for, any meaningful life.
whether you're into meditation or, I don't know, running marathons.
Right. It's about that drive, that commitment.
One listener, a lawyer, wrote about having these moments of clarity.
During, like, a big case.
Yeah, like the right path just suddenly became clear. Almost like,
Guided by something bigger.
yeah, that's how they described it.
And we heard from a chef who talked about those same principles. Dedication, discipline, but in the kitchen.
Right, that pursuit of culinary excellence.
It's like no matter what you do, that mystic way of thinking, it can apply.
It highlights the importance of, going deep or questioning.
Seeking that excellence beyond just the practical stuff.
And that's what's so cool about this whole deep dive.
Right.
Right.
Whether this sacred Atlantean brotherhood is real or not,
Those ideas, that framework they provide,
it has power.
it reminds us that we all have that mystic potential,
On that little spark inside.
and we can choose to fan those flames.
Let that curiosity lead us, wherever it takes us.
And maybe by doing that, we're not just enriching our own lives.
We're contributing to something bigger, a world that values.
Inquiry, compassion, understanding.
That sounds like a world I want to live in.
Me too. So to everyone listening, thank you.
Your insights, your stories, they've made this deep dive.
Something truly special.
Remember, this search for truth, it's an ongoing thing.
An adventure that unfolds with every question, every new experience.
So keep seeking, keep questioning, keep diving deep.
Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged.
And keep that mystic fire burning bright.